Hi, my name is Zandile and I'm presenting on Genesis chapter 27, which talks about Jacob stealing his brother Esau's blessings from his father Isaac. In order to understand this story, we have to go back a few chapters. Um, Isaac comes from Abraham being the servant of God, whom was promised a lot of descendants. God promised Abraham that his descendants would be as many as the sand on the ground. And so, as we go on to see how God blesses Abraham's descendants, we come across this very specific chapter, which is chapter 27 in Genesis, which talks about Isaac, Esau, and Jacob. So Isaac was a son to Abraham, and Esau and Jacob were sons to Isaac and Rebekah. Esau was the oldest and Jacob was the youngest. Um, when Isaac was old and he could not see, um, he said to his older son Esau, whom was his favorite by the way, because they shared a taste of loving hunting and going out into the wild, whilst Jacob and his mom loved staying indoors and being busy in the tents. And so when Isaac said to Esau, can you please go hunt some game for me and cook me some stew so that I can give you my blessing? Rebecca and Jacob heard about it and they were not pleased at all. So they came up with this plan when Esau was gone to deceive Isaac into giving the blessings over to Jacob. Jacob's name, by the way, means deceiver, which is very interesting as you continue to read this chapter. So they came up with this plot to deceive Isaac by putting on some goat skin onto Jacob and using Esau's cologne for him to smell and feel like it's Esau. And so they cooked some stew and brought it before him. Since he could not see and only touch, he was fooled into thinking that there was Esau and not Jacob. And so after Isaac had eaten, he blessed Jacob. He said, you will rule over your brother. Every person on this land will be under you. And when Esau came and had found out what happened, he was not pleased at all, which is understandable. He asked his father to bless him too, but then Isaac told him, I've already blessed Jacob and I cannot take that back. I cannot take my word back. So what I'm going to talk about is how betrayal can lead to resentment, which can eventually lead to death. As we continue reading, in verse 41, it says, Esau held a grudge against Jacob because of the blessing his father had given him. He said to himself, the days of mourning for my father are near, then I will kill my brother Jacob. So since Esau felt very betrayed by Jacob, he felt like killing him would be the best solution. And so this grudge led him to actually plotting against his own brother because he was seeking for revenge, which is not good, by the way. And so eventually Jacob had to run away from home and seek shelter in a faraway land because he no longer felt safe around Jacob and all that. But as we come to the end of the story, Rebecca finally comes back to his mind and says that I don't want to lose both of you, so it is best that you run away to a different land.